Morning everybody, welcome to Botswana. I just looked at the GoPro video of that river crossing and I tell you, it doesn't do it justice. That was really quite steep in and out, and it was sandy as well, but it was worth it because look what I found. I found a flat-necked chameleon. I found him on the road actually as I was coming in to make this video, and I thought, well, if I leave him, somebody will run him over, or if they see him on the side of the road, they'll batter him to death with a stick, because they believe they use the eyes to hypnotize you, and then when the chameleon changes colour, he takes your soul. So unfortunately, they end up squashed, battered to death, run over. So this flat-necked chameleon is the only species that we find in Botswana. He's found over most of the country, and they reach a length of about 40 centimetres, something like that, but most of the ones that I've found have been no bigger than this. So he's quite a cool little customer. He's quite angry, because he's nice and black. But what am I going to do with him? Well, I'm going to release him in a minute. So why am I here? Sat in the bush with my bike. Well, when I found my first snake back in England when I was about 8, 9, 10, somewhere around there, it sparked an interest that has given me a career with working with reptiles from the time I left school up until now. I spent about 20 odd years in England working in zoological collections. So I've worked my way up from a trainee to running departments. Then I was made redundant, found another job, a couple of years there, was made redundant again. I thought, I've had enough of this. I've always had this desire to come to Africa to live, to work with reptiles. And about 13 years ago, I moved to Botswana. And I spend my time in the bush, on my bike, hunting for reptiles and inverts to photograph and write about, because that's how I earn my living. And I've written a lot of stories about trips that I've been on and places that I've been and the things that I found. And there are people which are hounding me to do a video channel. So that's what I thought about doing, making a video channel about my trips in the bush. So I can show you where I go, how I get there, how I choose where to go, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the things that I find, because most of the time that I go on these trips I find absolutely nothing. And then there are other times where I go find loads of stuff, and most of that is obviously dependent on the season, because at the moment we're in the winter, or just coming out of winter, so it's windy and it's quite cold, so you very, very rarely find anything. But come the rainy season, the bush turns green, the bugs come out, the insects come out, chameleons come out, snakes come out, and hopefully we can find a lot of stuff. And I don't want to limit it just to Botswana though. I'm thinking about doing trips to perhaps Namibia or Zambia or even Zimbabwe and other places, because there are things that I've not found, things that I've looked after in captivity. I'm thinking, wouldn't it be nice to go to these places and find them in their natural habitat? So that's what I want to do, show you the bush, but a whole experience of the bush, you know, camping and the equipment I take, why I ride a bike, what bike do I use, what cameras do I use, what magazines do I write for even. So that's what I want to do, make an adventure type channel. So whilst I go and let this little fella go, because I've saved its life, even though it's pitch black and pretty angry, I'll say cheerio, and I'll see you in the next video. So until then, take care.